Hey everyone, if you're new here, welcome. My name is Keisha, and today I'm going to be talking about all the books that I hope to read in the month of April. So I've got about 6 books on my list for this month. I do have 3 more that I'm going to be reading also, but those are going to be for a surprise vlog at the end of this month, so I won't be sharing those here today, but I am going to talk about 6 books that I'm really hoping to get to this month. First, I'm going to talk about one that I don't have in my hands just yet, but it's on its way, and that is going to be Monsters in the Mist by Juliana Brandt. This book comes out on May 3rd, but I'm actually getting an advanced reader copy from the author, and I'm so excited to read it because it's a spooky middle grade, and that is very on brand for me to be excited about and be looking forward to reading a spooky middle grade. And I have just read a lot of middle grade for middle grade March, so I'm kind of burnt out, but I'm hoping that I've got enough in me left for one more book. I'm really excited about this one. This story follows a boy and his family who moved to this mysterious island, and it's up to them to find out why everybody that seems to come to this island ends up disappearing and never being heard from again before he and his family are stricken by this island's curse. I don't really know much more about the book other than that, but it sounds really good, and like I said, spooky middle grade is right up my alley, so I'm really excited to get to this one early and be able to review it before it comes out. The next book I'm planning on reading is going to be a buddy read with my friends Liv, Lauren, and Elizabeth, and that is Find Your People by Jenny Allen. I'm really excited to read another Jenny Allen book. I read Get Out of Your Head last year, and I really enjoyed that, so I'm excited to pick this one up and read it with some of my book besties. I'm excited to see kind of how this book talks about godly friendships and just how to create life-giving friendships, because I know in a world of hustle and bustle, we have social media friends, we have in real life friends, we have colleagues, but just kind of learning how to nurture those friendships and putting Jesus at the center of it. I'm really excited to dive into this with those girls and just kind of hopefully grow our friendships together and learn how to be a part of healthier friendships and develop better friendships. Next on my list is Kill All Your Darlings by David Bell. I remember when this book was coming out last year, and then I forgot all about it before it came out. Like, I'd added it to my list and then I forgot about it. And then I saw it pop up on Goodreads a couple weeks ago, I think, and I was like, oh my gosh, I remember this book. So I had to get it because I was really excited about it all over again, and I haven't really heard a lot of people talk about it, so I'll tell you a little bit about it. It follows this English professor named Connor Nye, and he has just published this thriller that talks about the murder of this girl. And the funny story is, it's not really his story. Like, he didn't write this. There was a student of his that went missing, and he took her manuscript and published this book as his own. And now the student is not missing anymore, but she's at his doorstep and threatening to expose him. So if that's not enough of a mess for you, we also have the police at Connor's doorstep now as well, because it appears that in this story that he published, it implicates him in an unsolved murder that took place 2 years before. I think this is gonna be a really heavy book because I know it's gonna deal with some sexual assault, and I know that one of the big themes of it is just talking about how sexual assault still runs rampant on lots of college campuses, and it also kind of delves into what happens when you have people in higher power who will do whatever it takes to cover it up. So I don't know if I'm gonna like it or not yet, but I'm definitely very intrigued by it, and I am so excited to pick this one up this month. Next, I'm hoping to read Rules for Vanishing by Kate Alice Marshall. This has been on my list for quite a while. I remember when Liv and her old book club read this book, and they all really liked it, I think, or at least for the most part, and I knew that I was gonna like it. I put it on my 22 books for 2022 this year. It is also a 5-star prediction for me, and then Elizabeth just read it last month, so I was like, okay, this is really more of like a spooky fall book for me, but I'm gonna read it now because I feel like I could go for some spooky vibes right now. So I'm gonna pick this one up and hope that it's 5 stars, hope that I love it. I don't really remember what it's about. I think there's like this road where, what is her name? Lucy Gallows. There's a road where this like ghost named Lucy Gallows beckons people to her road to play this game with them, and if you win, you escape, and if you don't, who knows what happens. And this one girl named Sarah, her sister Becca, ends up going to this road and to play, I guess, Lucy Gallows' game or to find her, and she ends up going missing. And so now Sarah and her friends are going to find Becca, and chaos ensues from there. I don't know, I think there's like some witchy vibes, possibly some fantastical creatures. I have no idea, but this looks really good. I love the cover of this. It took me forever to actually see that there was a silhouette of a person here, so I'm guessing that's Lucy Gallows, but I'm very excited for this one, and I hope that it is a 5-star for me. Then I'm going to be reading Burntown by Jennifer McMahon. In light of her new release that is coming up, Children on the Hill, I really wanted to make sure that I got through her backlist, and I've read all of her backlist except for the first couple that she wrote, and I'm not really intrigued by those, so this is the only book that I have left before it's all just new releases from her. So I'm excited to get to this one. I hope that I like it. I've never really heard anybody talk about this one, but I love Jennifer McMahon, so I'm hoping that this is going to be a hit for me. It says, on the surface, Ashford, Vermont seems like a quaint New England college town, but to those who live among the shadowy remains of its abandoned mills and factories, and beneath its towering steel bridges, it's known as Burntown. Eva Sandusky, who goes by the name Nico on the street, has been a part of Burntown's underworld for years, ever since the night her father, Miles, drowned in a flood that left her and her mother, Lily, homeless. A respected professor, Miles was also an inventor of fantastic machines, including one so secret that the plans were said to have been stolen from Thomas Edison's workshop. According to Lily, this machine got Miles murdered. Nico has always written off this claim as the fevered imaginings of a woman consumed by grief. But when Lily also dies under mysterious circumstances and Nico's boyfriend is murdered, she's convinced her mother was telling the truth. Now on the run from a man called Snake Eyes, Nico must rely on other Burntown outsiders to survive. As the lives of these misfits intersect, and as the killer from the Sandusky family's past draws ever closer, a story of edge-of-your-seat suspense begins to unfurl with classic Jennifer McMahon twists and surprises. So, I'm really excited. I love Jennifer McMahon. You guys know I love Jennifer McMahon. So I'm hoping to love this one. I know that she does dual timelines in a lot of her books. I'm not sure if she does it in these. I'm kind of trying to see. Okay, that possibly is a dual timeline. I know there's like at least alternating perspectives. Okay, this says before, so I'm gonna guess that there's gonna be dual timelines, which I absolutely love. She does them so well. I'm really excited to read this one, and I hope that it's another one of hers that I love. The last book on my list is going to be Cece's Journal, Lost and Found by Joris Chamberlain and Aurélie Nayret. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing those names correctly, so I apologize if I'm not, but you guys haven't heard me talk about Cece's Journal yet, but I read the first compilation of this book last month, and that's coming in my wrap-up, but just know it's a new graphic novel favorite, and so I'm really excited to read this compilation. I think there's like 3 or 4 different parts in this book, but let me just tell you guys, I had no idea what I was getting into when I read Cece's Journal, and I absolutely fell in love with it. The stories are beautiful. The illustrations are beautiful. There's just so much depth to it for a graphic novel. So I highly recommend checking out the first one if you haven't already. But I'm low-key obsessed, okay? So please check out the first one. It's Cece's Journal, like a writer in training, something like that. And then the second compilation is Lost and Found. But yeah, I'm really excited to get to this one. I thought I would put it off just a little bit longer because I know there aren't any more books in the series right now out, but I'm really excited to read it, so I've got to read it next month. So like I said before, I'm also going to have 3 other books that I'll be reading this month for, I guess, kind of like a secret vlog. It's not really a secret if you know what time of the year it is, like with what I'm doing. I started a series on my channel, and it's the next installment in that series. So it's not that much of a surprise, but the books are a surprise to me. They'll be a surprise to you. And so, yeah, I am going to be hopefully reading more. And I hope that I can read all of these because I'm a little bit burnt out from middle grade March because I read so many books, but hopefully I'm able to get to all of these. If you've read any of these books, let me know down in the comments what you thought, or if I've piqued your interest in any new books, let me know. And while you're at it, go ahead and let me know what one book you're most excited to read in the month of April. Thank you guys as always for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye, friends.